blasted orb! It's time for it to go! It's brought naught but sadness and misery to New Halistra. Death and destruction lay strewn about, and what's that there? Some sort of beacon of carnage? Mark my words, people of Halistra. It's time to rise up and take back what's owed to us! In Ben Mickelson's book, Touching Spiritbearer, the protagonist Cole Matthews is exiled on an island near Alaska as a consequence for a crime he committed. Among many things that happen to him, he discovers that to be invisible, he had to clear his mind. That was the secret. Being invisible had nothing to do with being seen. Being invisible meant not being sensed or felt. He goes on to say that if animals existed in a world of instincts and senses beyond the conscious thoughts of the mind, what happened to people in their frantic worlds of noise and hectic rushing? How much of the world did people miss because they were not calm enough, empty enough to experience it? For this Wireless Wednesday, I wanted to discover this for myself, using the concept of creating a sit spot suggested by many outdoor enthusiasts. I went down into the Cottonwood Nature Preserve near Lethbridge to attempt to become invisible, or at least to see what happens when I try. Using my Zoom sound recorder, I attempted to capture the sounds I heard as I sat for a while. After discovering a geocache nearby, I decided it was time to move on. Hearing the bird sounds made me want to capture more sounds, so I went down to the river to see what I could find there. As I wandered along the shore, I stumbled upon a mass of logs and mud heaped up near the river's edge. Tracks leading into a deep cave within the riverbank told me that this was likely a beaver's den. And yes, the beavers were home.
Oh.
Stumbling upon this felt like an incredible discovery, and I wanted to stay and learn more about them, but I was starting to get the picture. The beavers needed their space. As I moved back into the trees, I couldn't help but feel impressed by the beavers' work. Everywhere, chewed willows and trees from years past showed that these beavers had been busy. I admired them for their work ethic. Wandering through the trees, I was once again rewarded. I found what I think is a diamond willow fungus, although I'll need someone to verify it, and found an enormous grove of diamond willows. I also stumbled upon a pair of nesting hawks. I began having a thought that hadn't occurred to me until that moment. The reason I was having these experiences had little to do with me being out in nature, and far more to do with my willingness to be open to having these experiences. Like the quote in Touching Spiritbearer, I was calm and empty enough inside to see. It was around the time I had that thought that this happened.
Holy crap.
Seconds before recording this, I had come within less than 2 feet of stepping on this rattlesnake. The rattle shook and the snake coiled up like this, and I let out a sound that I was glad never made it on the video.
I'm getting out of here.
I was completely and utterly overwhelmed, and I needed to leave. As I started to leave, however, I did something I don't entirely understand. I stopped myself. I stayed to watch the snake leave, and suddenly I found myself admiring it. Like the other animals I'd encountered that day, I wanted to know more. I had changed somehow, and after the close call with the snake, I had awoken a newfound empathy and understanding that I didn't have before. I don't recommend going looking for danger. While exhilarating, it isn't the only way to experience the outdoors. At the same time, not going outside because of the off chance there might be danger is even less productive. As Helen Keller has said, avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. More adventures await on the next Wireless Wilderness Wednesday.